What's up guys, Kyle here again, and today we're going to take a look at this. The Klirrton Lichtbringer. Let's do it. Woo! That's got a lot of sauce to it. All right, hope you guys are doing great out there today. I've obviously got a hot tamale to review here. This is the Klirrton Lichtbringer. Klirrton is a company that custom builds pedals out of Germany. They've got a few different models out right now. The Grindstein being one of them. The Lichtbringer being another popular one. I know they've got a couple more, including the Oh My Goat, which is a distortion pedal in collaboration with the guys at the Heavy Metal Amps and Pedals page. But today, I have the Lichtbringer. From what I can gather, this pedal is basically a take on the TC integrated preamp. They describe it as a clear boost. It has a ton of output. The bottom knob kind of helps you adjust the low end, and it can either cut low end or boost the low end. So you can either tighten up a flubby amp, or if you have kind of a amp that doesn't have enough in the lows, you can actually turn it up and boost that low end signal. Okay, so over here on the sharpen knob, that really fine tunes your highs and your upper mids and sharpens your tone. You know, it can really brighten it up significantly depending on how you have it dialed, or it can kind of mellow it out if you dial it back some. So what you saw there, that was the settings that I had dialed in for my dual rectifier. It made it extremely hot. Hello?
Hey, your vehicle's ready to go.
Awesome, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys getting that in for me today. My car's inspected. Shit, I don't remember where I was. Yeah, anyways, this is where I had it dialed in for the intro demo that I just did. It has a ton of output. It really, I mean, I've got the gain on the dual rectifier at about 11 o'clock. So it's fairly saturated already. So let's turn the gain down a little bit. And I have the lows at noon. So it's a little flubby, but not terrible. The multi-watt's a little tighter. There's the pedal on. So it adds a significant amount of output. It also adds a lot of noise, but pretty much any pedal that has a lot of output's gonna do that, so you can't fault it. But that tightened up the lows pretty good, but not crazy. Let's pull the bottom down a little bit more. So now it's almost not enough low end, but we can adjust that on the amp. And it gives it kind of that more modern metallic clanky feel. Let's adjust the sharpen function. Let's dial it back. You see that adjustment I made? It was up about 1, 2 o'clock. I pulled it back to about 11 o'clock. Made a pretty significant difference in the tone. Warmed it up quite a bit. Let's pull the level back and see what that does. That actually sounds really good with the level kind of pulled back a little bit. Makes it quite not so over the top in the output department. Let's pull it up a little bit. I like this thing. This sounds really good. It reminds me of the Duality DX preamp side, whereas the Duality is a little brighter on the TC integrated circuit side. Turn the bottom up. Adds quite a bit of low end. It adds a good amount of low mids too. You can kind of hear it in the wah 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 in the palm mute. Wah 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 wah. Still not really flubby though, so it's got a nice feel to it overall. We'll dial it back to about here. So it adds an appreciable amount of output. The pedal sounds great. It really does. I like the voicing of it. Very aggressive. The low mid definitely adds some, or the low contour. The bottom control adds a lot of lows and low mids, but it doesn't really make it flubby. It just kind of thickens it up and makes the bass a little punchier. So on an amp like a rectifier, where you really want to tighten that low end, it does a great job of that without neutering the amp. It makes it very punchy. So, all right, guys. So we're on the JMP 2203. Here's your sound with no Lichtbringer. Here is your sound with the Lichtbringer. I don't like it as much on the 2203, and it's adding a lot of hiss. I think I might have to put my gate after the pedal if I'm going to use this thing. The pedal definitely gets very saturated, or makes the 2203 very saturated. Usually you can't push a 2203 that hard with a standard like tube screamer style circuit. It doesn't get anywhere near that level of saturation. So that's nice, because usually I feel like a tube screamer needs a little help from another boost in order to push this thing to where I would want it for like Bushido code type stuff, modern thrash. But this pedal does it on its own. However, it seems to accentuate some weird low mid frequencies on the 2203 that I don't necessarily like. So let's see if we can dial that out on the amp. That sounds pretty nasty for a stock 2203 with just a single pedal out front. That had some great chug going on. Once I kind of readjusted the amp, readjusted the pedal a little bit, I think it needs a little bit more low end. Kind of gives that like, you know, real modern mid attack that a lot of newer amps have and a newer pedals kind of present when you dial that bass down. There's a spot right here on the bass knob or on the bottom knob where you can literally hear, even if you're not playing anything, you can hear it add the low frequencies in, and it's very sensitive right at that spot. And then after that, there's not a whole lot of play. It's I take that back. It definitely has a really good sweep all the way across the bottom knob, but right around here in the 9 o'clock area is where a lot of the low frequencies are taken out, and then you hit this point right about here, and then it seems to add a good amount of them back in, and then, you know, that just kind of increases slowly as you come up the dial into the point where you have just an ass ton of low end going on. So that's good. Lots of sweep in the EQ adjustments on this pedal, which means you have a wide range of tones available to you, or I guess EQ dials, to really fine tune it to whatever amp, cab, guitar you're using. Great feature. Like I said, negatives, lots of noise, but that's kind of to be expected with the level of output that this thing has. It pushes the amp significantly harder than like a TS9 style does. I know the TC integrated preamps are known for pushing the amp pretty hard. This one really, really kicks it in to high gain territory with that level all the way up. So let's dial that back just a hair. We'll do one more little riff section on it. We'll call it a day on this pedal. But construction-wise, simple. Aluminum enclosure seems really tough. The printing on the top is very simple. I like the graphics, and I believe it's screen printed by hand. It seems like it's a pretty durable style finish too. The ink, whatever it is, it doesn't feel like it's gonna just scratch right off as soon as a cable touches it or something like that. So high quality build. The knobs are nice. I dig the pedal overall aesthetically. Awesome pedal, very well constructed, great simple graphics, lots of range in every single one of the dials on here, so it gives you a lot of options as far as fine tuning to whatever amp or situation that you're using the pedal in. And overall it sounds great, has a very modern voicing. Only negatives are it sends a lot of extra noise into your signal, but if you have a good gate or a 4-cable method gate, shouldn't be an issue at all, especially if you put the gate after the pedal. Definitely, I would say give this thing a try if you're into the whole TC integrated preamp scene. Again, I don't know for sure that it's based off that, but it sounds very much like similar pedals that I have used. But it's got its own thing going on, and I think it's really cool. It adds a signature voicing to whatever you're using, and makes it sound really, really mean. So yeah, Klirrton Lichtbringer. Check them out on Facebook, on Instagram, and yeah, that's it for me, guys. Kyle here again. We'll see you next time.